Yo, what's going on? What's happening? Listen. I think this story right here, this is a good story. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even though something negative had to happen, the whole thing is, to me, in my opinion, positive. You know what I'm saying? So, here in Charlotte, right off of West Boulevard, a pregnant 26-year-old woman and her 11-year-old son was in a hotel room. So I'm assuming that, this has been going on for a minute, as far as domestic, abuse, violence and everything from, I guess, the boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming that they had to leave the house. They didn't, go in further detail about, the situation, but I'm assuming that they had to leave the house because of the boyfriend. The boyfriend got mad charges, you know what I'm saying? So, what happened is, they in a hotel room or whatever have you, and the boyfriend breaks into, like busts through the door and starts to assault the 26-year-old mother. You know what I'm saying? She's pregnant and she has an 11-year-old son with her, right? So the 11-year-old son picked up the firearm and shot the boyfriend in order to defend his mom. And, the boyfriend survived, and both of them were rushed to the hospital. So I don't know what condition the 26-year-old mother is in, but both of them, as well as the boyfriend, had to go to the hospital. And the 11-year-old, it's crazy that they said that on the news. I'm like, yo, are you serious? They said that they weren't going to press any charges towards the 11-year-old. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, what if he was in the wrong? Would you press charges then? I mean, come on, he's an adolescent. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you charge an 11-year-old kid? But, these are the days and times that we're living in. But, yo, that's the positive thing. That's the most positive thing that I've heard in a while. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to, gun crimes. That 11-year-old son had enough sense, you know what I'm saying, to, I don't know whether he had to cock it back if it was one already in the chamber, but he had enough sense to pick up the firearm and shoot and defend, you know what I'm saying, his mom from, assault, domestic violence, domestic abuse. You know what I'm saying? And my hands goes off, to that 11-year-old child. I wish he hadn't been in that situation. I wish that never had happened. But at the same time, I'm glad that he was there to defend his mom. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes I drift off, and think about, like, when I was younger, and how I felt about my moms. Like, couldn't nobody touch my moms when I was young. For real. You put your hands on my moms, it's a wrap. I remember one time, she had went over her boyfriends or someone, my mom's that is, someone, and I tagged along with her. Someone she was seeing or whatever, right? She got out of the car and, they was talking or whatever have you. Next thing you know, he goes to kiss her and I jump out of the car, bonk, punched him right in his face. I ain't play that, you touching my mom's. So I feel where the 11-year-old, kid was coming from. You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad that, well, the mother did get hurt. I don't know how, to what extent, she got hurt. You know what I'm saying? They took her to the hospital. But I'm just glad that the bad guy, didn't get away with this thing and nobody died. You know what I'm saying? And this brings me to, a conversation that I've been having for years with you all on this channel as well as my old channel. And that is, if you don't have a firearm, make sure you get one. Make sure you get one. Here in the state of North Carolina, if you don't have any felonies, you know what I'm saying, as far as like gun charges and, B&Es, breaking and entering and stuff like that, you got some misdemeanors and stuff like that, you can get you a gun, a firearm. And we're living in some real bad times nowadays. You know what I'm saying? I just saw on Charlotte News that this year we're starting off being the most violent year that we've had in Charlotte since 2019. So it's imperative that you know what I'm saying, you protect yourself. And not only do you supposed to protect yourself, but while in the process of owning a firearm, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that this didn't happen. But here in Charlotte, especially in South Carolina, there's been a whole thing of, kids getting their hands on guns and shooting themselves. So while you have that firearm, you definitely want to practice gun safety. You definitely want to practice gun safety. And as along with practicing gun safety, it includes, that you clean your firearm. Because if need be, if you got to pull it out, right, and take care of some business because someone has threatened your life, and of course you got to follow by the laws. That's another thing too. I failed to mention that. You got to go by the laws of your state and make sure that when you pull out and, you talking about self-defense, that you in the right based on the law of that specific state that you live in. You know what I'm saying? But you want to make sure when you're pulling out and protecting yourself that your gun doesn't, or firearm doesn't what? Jam. So you want to definitely, keep it oiled, keep it clean. Straight up. But these are the days and times that we're living in where everybody has to make sure that they protect themselves. And you can't have this fear for firearms because what is it? What do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? You want to have this fear of firearms and especially you women, I got my mace. I got my Louisville Slugger. That don't do nothing compared to that hot lead that's being shot out of that firearm. You know what I'm saying? A bullet can travel faster than your mace, and the way and at the speed of you swinging that Louisville Slugger. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to get over that whole fear of firearms and how loud they sound and all the rest of that stuff. Because I'm telling you, here in North Carolina, well, especially in the South, man, everybody has a firearm. Everyone. And straight up, I mean, man, like I said before, and I say it again, man, my hat goes off to that 11-year-old child. Because things could have ended, as they usually do. And that is the bad guy wins. And I'm so sick and tired of those type of stories. I really am. Just a couple of months ago, here in Charlotte, I think it was in North Charlotte, a dude fought off someone that was breaking into his house, got the gun that the guy had that was trying to break into his house, and shot the guy with his own gun. This is the type of stories that I love hearing. Love hearing. That's real talk. Because, us regular people that's going to work, taking care of our families, all we want to do is what you call, the right thing. We mind our own business. We don't want to be bothered with the extra, you know what I'm saying? The bullshit. You work hard for what you have. And then someone, wants to rob you or break into your house and try to take what you have that you work hard for, as well as taking your life in at the same time. And it's just not fair. It's not fair that the bad guys always got to win. And they don't necessarily have to win. Yeah, true indeed, having a gun a firearm doesn't, grant you, that you're going to win. You're going to win that battle. But it at least gives you the opportunity to defend yourself. It really does. And I have firearms, plural. I keeps one in the car. Keep one by my bed. I got the AR-15. I mean, yo, man, it's like, you try to do something, to me, I'm going to defend myself. And you don't have to be a street dude. You don't have to have street cred in order to own a firearm. And you don't necessarily have to, you don't have to fit this criteria of being a thug just because you want to protect and defend your life. We got to get over this whole stigma of black people and firearms and how they don't mix. No. Niggas and firearms don't mix. But black people that want to defend themselves and firearms mix. They form the perfect marriage together. And that's real talk. Things are getting worse, man. I listen to these music videos and, you know, these rap songs and stuff like that, and I hear what the youth is listening to. I see how they act when I'm out and about. And true indeed, I would never want to harm a 15, 16, 17-year-old. A young black child, black man, black young adult, black teenager. But it gets to the point where it's like, okay, it's either that person's life or mine. And I love my life more than I love anybody else's, anyone else's, with the exception of my family. People getting killed for little to nothing. And it makes no sense. And it seems as though every time the wrong ones die, the good die young. And it don't have to be that way. It really don't. You know what I'm saying? I got to get back on my grind when it comes to my children. You know what I'm saying? I used to take them to the gun range all the time. My daughter knows how to shoot. My son knows how to shoot. You know what I'm saying? I got to get, you know, more on point with them or whatever. But at the same time, like, I'm telling you this because of the fact that if you have children, not only should you train yourself, you know what I'm saying, as far as dealing with your firearm, but you also should include your whole family. Your whole family. Because you just don't know nowadays. You just don't know. Because if something happened to me, I'm with the mother of my children or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Something happened to me, I know she's equipped to not only protect herself, but protect me at the same time. This is a family thing. That's what it's about. And that's exactly what that 11-year-old kid, you know what I'm saying? At 11 years old, man. That's the same type of state of mind that he had when he protected and defended his family, which was his mom and his unborn sibling. Come on, man. Hats off goes to him. Straight up. But this is where we're at. This is a new day and time. And I encourage people, black people in particular. Let me tell you something. This is real talk. You know, and I'm not trying to, you know, put black people, you know, I'm not trying to be sarcastic and funny and none of that shit. But yo, seriously, at the end of the day, black people always following what non-blacks do. Well, why is it when it comes to firearms, you don't follow what non-blacks do? Because let me tell you something. The average Caucasian has firearms. And they don't have no problems letting everyone know that they do. You know how many decals or stickers that I see on the back of non-black cars? You know what I'm saying? Like, I own a 6 Sauer, or I'll do this or whatever have you. They don't have no problems. None. And their little subliminal logos and, you know, things of like a flag, you know, and stuff like that. Little subliminal shit that lets you know, for those that know, it lets you know that man is armed. You have a sticker that say 2A. Some shit like that. So I'm just trying to understand. Everybody has firearms. Bad guys have firearms. Why you don't have any? For those that don't. Especially you not trying to, see now I gotta like tread lightly on this shit. I'm not trying to be funny. Not trying to call you out. I'm not trying to put a target on your head, but it's just a fact. Especially you single black women. Real talk. If you are not married and you don't plan on being married, and you know you caught up in your world, and it's your world, you know what I'm saying? You want to do your own thing and remain single and not have kids and different things like that. Okay. But just a couple months ago, a chick almost got the R word. I don't like using that on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to get flagged. But she almost got the R to her. Someone, I'll put it to you like this. Someone almost forcibly took her cookies. And if it weren't for her roommate that helped fight the dude off, it would have been a wrap. But had she had a firearm, it would have been a whole different story. I get emails, DMs all the time from black women, young black women in their late 20s, early 30s. Oh, how is Charlotte? Y'all ask all these questions that are on point. You know, occupation. You know, if you have children, how's the education down there? Schools. You know, of course, dating. But y'all fail to leave out one thing. And that is, what that one question that you fail to leave out. That you leave out. That you shouldn't be leaving out. And that is, what are the gun laws down there? Can I conceal and carry? Can I open and carry? I never get any questions like that. Ever. And those are the questions that you should be asking. Real talk. Real talk. You come down here, and this is real shit. You come down here and you thinking Charlotte is sweet because it's named after a queen. And you be sadly mistaken. I see these channels with young black women, you know what I'm saying, vlogging all over the city, and I'm looking at this shit like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm glad that female's not my girl. I'm glad that female's not my daughter. I'm glad that female's not my cousin. Because you got to be kidding me, walking around in different areas, especially uptown, late at night, thinking shit is sweet. South End, thinking shit is sweet. Music Factory, thinking shit is sweet. Now I know you all are up there in Central Avenue, where, you know, it's permitted in certain areas, excuse me, it's permitted in certain stores and restaurants and areas in Central Avenue. They have the social district where you could walk outside and drink, socialize while you're drinking. That's a no-no when it comes to Charlotte. I want to never, ever, if I had some control in Charlotte, I would have never authorized that shit. You got niggas wilding out prior to a social district. Now you gonna give niggas the opportunity to drink out in the open? Psst. This is what I'm talking about. Yo, man, I'm telling you seriously, you know, if I was a woman if I was a single black woman, I would definitely, I'm just saying, for an example, I would definitely get into some type of relationship, have my brother, a cousin, or someone that I know move down with me. If I was moving from one state to another and I ain't know anyone, I would definitely have a coworker that I was cool with, and I would go out with him at times. I would never walk around this motherfucker like everything is, like shit is sweet. Ever. I'd be in Target, it'd be like, Target will be closing in the next 10 minutes. Get your items and go to the front. You know that dumb shit they say, when the store's about to close. And, I walk out, and I got it on me. I got it on me at all times. And I take that back. If I see a sign that says no weapons are permitted, like Whole Foods, can't take it in there. But I got it on me. I'm walking out of Target. I get in a car and I'm like, I'm seeing you black women walking to the the fuck? You just gonna make it easy, right? You just gonna make it easy, right? You just gonna be a easy Vic. You're not paying attention to shit. See, that's the problem. That's the point that I'm making. That's where a man comes in. Because a man is going 360 surveillance the motherfucking parking lot before he even walk out the damn Target store. But I know some of you all are religious and you'll say, the only one man that I need is, I'm going to sing it. As long as I got King Jesus, I don't need nobody else. But Christians can die too. And to be real with you, I'm not trying to be funny, but your Lord and Savior died on the cross. So you can die. It's a possibility. I'm glad that boy was there for his mother. Straight up. And I would say, learn from this. Other than that, I'm out.